love, attraction, and all of that juicy goodness. We are here for a reading. We're going to see what the energy is for today and for the rest of this week. I might even use this as my weekly reading. I'm not sure. So we are just going to go with the flow. We're going to call on our guides, Archangel Micah, Archangel Metatron. It is a beautiful summer day here. It is July 1st when I'm filming this. So this is specifically for the day that you're seeing this. So this is a timeless reading. So we're going to call on Archangel Micah, Archangel Metatron. Please open sacred space. Please only allow the highest and mightiest let messages come through. Bless me. Bless my cards. Bless my beautiful viewers. I love you all so much. All right. Let's get started. All right, what do we want to start with? I feel like we're going to start with the Gateway Oracle. Here we go. Let's see what we need to hear today. Okay. First message, trusting your intuition. My life is truly guided. And it's kind of cool. There's like a keyhole. It's like a keyhole, and then you can see like a river. So my mentor always taught me that when you feel like you're stuck in your life or you feel like you don't know which direction to go in, she always tells me, Michelle, drop the oars and let the river, let the boat take you, which is the universe. You're letting your higher self guide you down this river. And I also like to see this as not having such like a narrow vision in life and expanding. My mentor also tells me that there are as many options as there are stars in the sky. So when you trust your intuition, you trust to let go of the ego and to not try to grip and control the wheel and drive the car. You are letting go and saying, I know I can't control this right now. I'm just going to surrender and I'm going to let the you take me. Isn't that funny? Let the you. So first message is trust that inner nudge that you're getting to go somewhere, to go do something, maybe to call somebody, whatever it is, you are doing it. And a lot of times when we're trusting, we have to actually take action. You actually have to like act on that thought. And they just said, my guides just said, if you're thinking a thought, you're meant to be doing it. So if it's something you keep thinking over and over and over again, it's probably something you should do. And we don't want to sit on those thoughts because a lot of times that thought could be like $1 million deal, right? Or it could be your ticket, your key to this door that's been locked your whole life. So let's do a little ever unfolding heart. I created this deck in memory of my daughter. It's an OG deck. It's the very first deck that I ever created. It's not the fanciest, but it's still awesome. Okay. Check in with your relationships. Are you thinking of someone and feeling unsettled? Dive deep into why. So this could be any relationships. I just heard mother. So if somebody's struggling with, maybe your mom is sick, or maybe your mom is your biggest teacher in this lifetime. I don't know. I feel like there's a mother energy here. Let's get another card on that. We're going to get spirit messages. Okay, here's spirit messages. Spirit messages. I think this is a deck by John Holland. Okay, message about mother. Let's see. Okay, we have synchronicity. Are you noticing the signs of synchronicity that the spirit world has been sending to you at this time? People and situations in your life are not just appearing by coincidence. In reality, they're being guided to you from the spirit world to help you for a specific reason. Okay, so this is somehow tied to that mother energy or that relationship. If you're seeing signs about a certain relationship in your life and you're feeling guided to take action on that relationship, maybe it's to speak your truth, maybe it's to stand up to somebody. I know in a couple of my client lives, they've had parents who were they had traits of narcissism, right? And the parent now in their adult life is still thinking that they can treat their child the way they've always treated them. But now the child is spiritually awakened and is my client, and they're saying, wow, like I'm really seeing the gaslighting. I'm really seeing, and you've always seen it, right? But because you've been doing so good with your healing, it's a little bit louder and it's a little bit more like your body can't even be around it anymore. And you can get treated for that. You can get a best session with my mentor. She will treat you for the ick feeling in your nervous system, so that our goal is to get people to be in any environment and to feel freaking amazing wherever you are. So a lot of my clients are dealing with parent relationships where they're kind of the parent to their parent and they're more awakened, right? And we're here to break the chain. We're here to break the cycle. And you might be seeing synchronicities that are tying you to that person or that relationship. Maybe you get off the phone with your mom or dad and then you see an angel number. Spirit is saying, we're with you on these calls. It's okay if they just pissed you off. It's okay if you're feeling upset about the relationship and that maybe it's not moving in the direction you thought it was going to be moving in. But I love working with clients in this area because there's a fine line between taking your inner child. I always think about grabbing my inner child by her hand. I'm not going to take her to an environment where she's going to get beat up, abused, emotionally, physically, spiritually, everything, mentally, right? We're not going to take her there. But we still want to do the lesson. We still want to do what we came here to learn. Like we chose our parents for a reason. So you don't just want to escape and never talk to your parents ever again. You want to heal the relationship on your end of it, which means you have to learn unconditional love and say, okay, I see the narcissism. They are my greatest teacher in my lifetime. They are poking every button on me, telling me what conditional love is. I have to observe it, not absorb it, observe it, forgive it, because they know not what they do. And we find compassion for them that they were not given any kind of unconditional love growing up. So, of course, they are going to be a product of conditional love. So, when you're dealing with somebody like this, of this caliber, and you're like, oh my God, they drive me nuts, Spirit is saying, we're with you. There's a reason why you're experiencing it. You're not doing anything wrong. It's not your fault that they are that way, but it is your job to not pass it on and to not fight back. So that's why I said I like to work with women in this area, because I like to teach them how to handle a parent, a sibling, a spouse, somebody who is just showing these traits. And you're like, how do I live with this person? How do I stay connected to them even though they're not spiritually awakened and they pull me down every time I see them? Let's do one more card. I just got guidance mid-sentence, but I can teach you how to handle these situations. So everything is below. You can do the mentorship with me, which is 8 weeks, and it's discounted right now. It's normally $2,222. I have it at $1,555, super big discount. And you get that money back. The universe pays you back when you invest in yourself. I also have one-on-one readings, one-on-one coaching, which it's $222 for an hour with me. Okay, soul solitude. How cool is that? It's like the sky. I just filmed, it's so wild. I just filmed a video earlier about how we have to be the observer of our thoughts and we have to be the sky, right? And the clouds that pass by are each little thought, each little dark cloud is a dark thought, and we get to choose whether we want to engage in that. So the soul solitude is basically saying your soul needs attention. There are moments when it's important to get away, not just from the noise of the outside world, but to find a place where your soul can experience peace and quiet, a place for your soul solitude. This is a time to pause, a time to reflect, and a time for you. So maybe this is regarding that relationship. Maybe you're in a marriage with somebody who's draining your energy. Maybe you're in a partnership, or I'm sorry, in a family relationship and they're draining your energy. Maybe you live with them. You have to create the space for you to be able to deal with what you're going through. You can't just sit around and say, this is the way my life is and it sucks. What do I do? You have to take action. Take your inner child somewhere else and give them time and space just to be. Okay. Let's do an animal. Should we do an animal? Yeah. Let's do an animal. Okay. Make sure these guys don't blow in the wind. Okay, so this is spirit animal wisdom. What message do we need to hear about this situation? How do we free ourselves from being surrounded by people that pull us down? Okay, the cat, speak your truth. Direct answer here. This is a direct answer from spirit. Have strength, faith, and conviction in your voice. It has never been more needed. The black cat also represents protection. And if you look at his eyes, he's kind of like squinting his eyes. He's like, he's looking at you and he's almost giving you like a look like back off. And he's also got the sun behind him, which the sun represents the masculine energy, the doer, the giver, the provider. So the cat's kind of like, I can provide for myself. I don't need somebody to take care of me. Ooh, great message. They just showed me somebody feeling like they can't pull away from this partner, they can't pull away from this parent because you feel like you're reliant on them financially or just energetically. You feel like, oh no, if I do this to this person or if I pull away, they won't be there anymore. And I'll have to do life on my own, or I'll have to, what if I don't have them to fall back on? They're saying spirit is who you fall back on from now on. When you're going through a spiritual awakening, you're going to be, their spirit is going to pull every attachment that you're attached to away from you. You know, I was just talking about this on a call with a woman the other day, and I was talking about like fitness models when they're really into fitness and it's their lifestyle. You will eventually see them on their path at some point get some sort of illness. Their body will physically somehow be taken away from them. They won't be that fitness person anymore because of an ailment, because of a sickness, because of an injury. So they have to learn the lesson of, who am I without my body? If my body is my career, the universe is saying we can't tie ourselves to our careers. We can't tie ourselves to other people. We have to be okay being independent like the cat. The cats are very independent. They're protective. But it's almost like the cat is speaking without speaking. That's what their spirit is trying to tell us with these eyes. It's like somebody can like send you daggers with their eyes. And look, these kind of are daggers too. So maybe the person you're dealing with is very vindictive or spiteful, and you're being called to speak up and stand up for yourself. I've had people like that in my life, and it's very, very hard to balance how to handle it. That's why I like to work with women now doing that, because I've dealt with that so many times that it's not easy to navigate. Um, and we have Lady Luck. We have a Ladybird card, which this came in our last week's reading. It says, all of your manifesting positive thoughts and visualizations have been heard. So I believe that if you want to manifest a better relationship with somebody or co-create anything in your life, it's just placing the order. It's saying, if it's saying it's been heard, but what if you're not speaking it into existence? What if you're not journaling it? What if you're not putting it out there for the universe to grab it and then bring it back to you? Then it doesn't know what to bring you. So then you kind of just keep getting the same results. Your ego is number one, the biggest blocker to your manifestations. It is resistance in all ways. So if you can get a grip on those clouds, those dark clouds passing by through your sky, which is your soul, your spirit, if you cannot follow, actually, if you cannot make it so that those clouds stick around and rain on your parade, then you're going to be the master of manifesting, because you're going to know, okay, here comes a cloud. Let me wait for it to pass and let me not engage in it. Let me not believe it. Let me not go cry for 2 hours because this thought said that my manifestation or this relationship's never going to get better. The mind is so freaking tricky, you guys. The more spiritually awakened you get, the stronger you get on this journey, the more that mind gets louder and the more it finds a soft spot to poke you on your journey. So let's say you did something, I don't know, like 10 years ago in your life, right? And your mind is always bringing that situation up. Do you remember when you did this? You're such a horrible person. You shouldn't have done that. The mind will poke that button right after you have a really amazing day. So keep track of when you're having really good days spiritually. Maybe you go through an ego death and then you come out and you're having all these manifestations happen. Then all of a sudden you wake up one morning and this voice is chirping in your ear and it's saying, remember that thing you did? You're not worthy of this manifestation because you did that. You need to be the sky and observe it and say, I'm not going to feel bad about something that I did when I was in a costume, when I was in a character of ego, when I wasn't spiritually awakened. I'm not going to beat myself up for that. It's in the past. I'm unhooking that trailer and I'm going to keep moving on. And I'm not going to stay in the self-hate. I was watching a video the other day, and this woman was channeling her spirit guides. They're called the Council, and ascended masters, if you want to call them. And they were basically saying that like our mission is to like it's realization of self, is realizing that we are soul, we are spirit, and we are not the human who's done X, Y, and Z. So if you can get yourself to that like higher perspective where you're like, okay, I'm not going to beat myself up for that thing that I did however many years ago. I am spirit. I'm here to realize who I am. I'm here to remember my power and really forgive myself. And you guys, I've done terrible things too. I've done things that still haunt me to this day, but I know what's haunting me is the mind replaying it. And I have to get really, really strong and say, you know what? Nope, I'm not going to listen to that. I'm not going to let it ruin my heaven on earth. I've created heaven on earth right now, and I like my life. I was also on a phone call the other day with my friend Loretta, and she was so sweet. And she's like, Michelle, she's like, what would be your ideal day? Like if you were in your fullest, highest joy, what would it look like? And I didn't realize this, but I actually described a normal day in my life. And the only thing that was missing was a partner to eat dinner with, and maybe to take a bath with or to hook up with that, throughout the day. That was the only thing that was missing. Every other part of my life is perfect. I'm super, super happy with it. I wake up, I film, I go lay in the sun, I dance in nature, I connect with clients, I make content, I use my creativity to make decks of cards. And the only thing right now for me is just that partner to share life with and to feel loved by and to give love and to nurture. And that made me feel so good. So I would love to invite you all, if you could paint a picture of your perfect day, what does it look like? What are you doing? Who are you communicating with? What are you creating? Are you outside? Are you inside? Are you painting? Are you writing? Go and start doing your perfect day now, and you'll eventually start living it. Okay. It was a really great question that she asked me, and I'm so grateful for her because she's just that like mom energy that we all need in our lives. She's super supportive. She's super self-aware. Okay, let's do another angel deck. We're going to talk more to our angels. So let's pivot and let's not talk so much about, well, we'll just see where the reading goes. We're not going to direct it because I'm never really in control anyway. It says 38. Yes, you are correct. You have listened to your inner guidance and made a wise choice. Keep moving forward. So this message is for somebody who just left a relationship, you just left a job, you just made a decision in your life where you're like, I'm leaving this shit behind. You're like, I'm out of here. Yes, you are correct. You made the right move. Do not let your ego jump in and chirp and say that you're fucking your life up. Excuse my language, but you're not. You're literally following your heart. If your body feels tight and restricted somewhere, that is telling you something. That is like that first. Didn't we get an intuition card first? Yes. Trusting your intuition. My life is truly guided. Your soul speaks to you through your body. So if your body feels tight at a job and you left it, kudos to you. Now you might be in a waiting phase. It might be 2 to 3 weeks before you are moved into something else. You might have some downtime to create a podcast, to create a newsletter, to start writing that book, to start creating those earrings. I have a client who just left her job and she's now creating earrings, and she always was, but now she's moving full blown into that. So my advice to her is always like, just wake up each day and see what you're guided to do. You'll eventually be guided to take the next step, maybe to start a website, maybe to start selling them on Etsy. But you are correct. You can trust that voice. You can trust that action that you just took. And then we have be a light to others. You have a powerful message to share. Shine your light on the world so that others can learn from you. Heck yes. And when they just brought me back to the family relationship or the partnership or the marriage, if anything is kind of like, look at this light. He's like feeling the light on his chest, right? And it's exuding out of him. If anything is smushing that light, we need to remove, right? Because that's resistance. If anything is blocking you from shining bright and putting yourself out there and allowing yourself to be seen, it's going to be resistance. So we have to choose. That's why I said, when you grab your inner child's hand and you're going somewhere, you want to be taking that child only to places that are going to help them shine their light, not dim their light. And even as adults, there's these rules of we have to go be with our family members. We have to do this. Well, you don't. You get to decide from here on out. You know, I always say when we spiritually awaken, we do go through a phase where we want to cocoon, I stuttered, where we want to cocoon and not be around anybody. And our ego is going to say, oh no, does this mean I'm never going to be around my family ever again? And that's not the case. You're going to slowly come out of that. When you come out of that cocoon, you're going to re-enter the world. You're going to re-enter these partnerships. You're going to have healthier partnerships because you're different. But while you're changing, you have to cocoon and you have to keep a distance away from these people because they are hindering your light. So in order for you to be a light to others, you cannot take your light to others who dim your light. Okay. So far we have be a light to others. Yes, you are correct. Trusting your intuition, ladybird, cat, soul solitude. When we go through an awakening, a lot of times we want to be out in the sky. We want to be in that freedom, farmland, away from people, away from things. It doesn't mean you need to move. It just means your soul is looking for that space. And then we have synchronicity. So you're looking for signs and synchronicities that are going to lead you on your path to making those right decisions, which are taking you to places where you can trust your intuition. Okay, let's do some Micah magic. Little drink break. As I just spilled that on my hand. Okay, Micah magic. Let's see. Actually, I'm gonna do charms first. The breeze feels so good today. Okay, what do we have? Oh, we have the key. The key to that door, you guys. How perfect. You can see the key. And then we have the turtle. So the turtle is all about slow movement, trusting the process, knowing that you're going to get the key at the right time to open the door. The turtle could also be you have something underneath your shell that the world needs. And as you're walking slowly through life, you're gathering wisdom underneath that shell. What is on my nail? Did you guys see that? There's like a little string. Okay, I think I got it. So basically, it's so funny because one of his legs is like all weird, but he's slowly walking. It actually shows his leg walking. If you guys can see, one leg is out. See it? Yeah, there we go. One leg is out and one leg is like straight back by his tail. So he's taking steps very, very slowly, but with each step, he's gathering wisdom with what he's observing. So all the pain and all the suffering that you guys have been through in your life, it's been kept underneath that shell. And at some point, we have to lay down, crack open the shell, take what we found, type it up, put it into a book, start creating videos to share, start a podcast, do all the things that, you know, you didn't just accumulate all of this knowledge and information and pain and suffering to not do anything with it. So it's almost like what's underneath your shell is the key to your future. That's what I'm hearing, is the key to that door of following. This is the keyhole, right? Of the key that we just got. You have it. You have everything within you. You just have to turn off the mind, turn off those clouds, and just allow your soul to move you. Comment below if you guys struggle with understanding being moved. So if you're not quite sure what I mean by that, allowing spirit to move you, allowing the universe to jump into your body and move you, comment below and say, Michelle, I need help with learning about how to be moved, or I don't understand it. Because I would love to create a video on that. I might do it anyway, but I kind of want to see how many people struggle with that. Or if you guys are good, you can tell me that in the comments too. Be like, I know what it means and it's happened to me many times. And a lot of times being moved is not moving from the mind. You're not making a decision because the mind is scared and it's telling you have to do this right now or else. Being moved is you're not thinking about anything. You get an idea and you just go. Okay, that's what being moved is. All right, I'm gonna put those two charms back. Actually, you know what? No, I put them right on the edge here. All right, so we're gonna do angel wisdom or Angels of Abundance. It's like a cool psychedelic deck. It's really, really tiny and mini. And then we're going to do Micah Magic. So I didn't forget about Micah. Could never forget about her, my sweet little daughter. All right, so we have exercise to increase your energy and manifestation abilities. You guys know I love this, and especially talking about my daughter. I just shared in another video, I'll link it here, about how it was actually another reading that I did last week, about how when my daughter was born with her muscle disorder and when she passed away 6 weeks later, I then dedicated my entire life to taking care of my body. And every time I would do sprints or run, I was doing it from the mindset of Micah couldn't. Micah can't run. So I was running for her. I just always had this innate urge to just run for somebody. I was running for somebody that couldn't. And I never, like, I knew it was her, but it just felt like it was something bigger too. So it says the key to manifesting quickly is to have very high energy levels. The easiest way to increase them is through physical exercise. Choose a fun and meaningful activity so that you'll look forward to exercising and it becomes its own reward. And I always like to see this. I mean, she's looking at the world, right? But I always like to see that as the vortex. This is the vortex up here, and all of your desires are in there. And in order for you to kind of get up to the same level as it, or to be able to poke it, and to, I would say, like a sliding board kind of opens up and they all start sliding down. In order for you to be a match to that, you have to feel good. You literally have to be on the same frequency as the universe. So if the universe is operating in a frequency of complete unconditional love, joy, peace, vibing high all the time, and then we wake up and we eat something crappy, or maybe we drink coffee and it makes our energy a little anxious, a couple hours later, we're immediately not a match to that. So exercise, if you were to wake up and go exercise, you would be meeting that frequency. You'd be feeling so good. You'd be feeling high, on an energy high. And that is when, if you can stay at that rate, you don't have to stay high all the time, but just being neutral or higher, you're going to get more manifestations. Okay, let's do some Micah magic now. Micah magic. I used to say Micah, 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 Micah. Mommy can hear your heart, or can you hear mommy's heartbeat? All right, let's see. I'd be scrubbing in. We had to scrub into the hospital every day. And as I was washing my hands, her crib would be around the corner from the sink. And my partner, Bill, at the time, every time I would sing that, I go, Micah, Micah, Micah. He said her head would turn every time because she'd be like, my mom's here. Because they have voice recognition, obviously, from being in the womb that long. You guys, we just got double cards. Holy shit. Okay, Lady Luck is on your side. So something amazing is going to be coming into your life soon. All of your manifesting positive thoughts and visualizations have been heard. This is when we get a card twice or a message twice, that's really, really potent. So Lady Luck is on your side. If your fear and your doubt is creeping in and you're like, what is going on? What am I doing wrong? I don't understand this journey. I keep seeing signs, but nothing is coming in. You're seeing the signs because you're in the flow. You're on that dance floor. You're vibrating so high. Don't question it. Just be there and feel so good and be like, oh my God, I love this. I lived life for however many years, not even knowing what a sign was. Let me just experience this right now. So don't question your signs. That's again the ego. The ego wants to keep you in suffering. So even when the universe is handing you this platter of signs and synchronicities, you're not appreciating it because your mind is telling you it has to mean something. You have to get something. It's always looking to attain, grab, and attach onto something. But we don't want to attach onto anything. We want to be detached. We want to be free spirits, and we want to walk through life knowing that anything can be taken from us, and we are still grounded and whole and okay on our own. Speaking of signs, 444, your angels are moving things for you. Lady Luck is on your side. Holy shit. Okay. Mother Mary, excuse me, Mother Mary, for cursing. She's here to guide you. Destiny has a plan for you. Let go of the need to know. Be mindful of your thoughts and let go of control. All right, so I kind of want to get some different cards on this. want to get a different card on the, I wonder if it's just the mind. Be mindful of your thoughts. It's probably just the ego. Spirit is probably just saying we really have to let go of control of our journey. If something is going to take 3 weeks, if something is going to take 4 months, we have to like surrender and say, okay, my mind wants answers right now, and I just have to trust that, okay, if I just took a leap of faith, everything's not going to happen overnight. If I have been on this journey for a year now, maybe there's more healing I have to do that I can't quite see yet. And I don't know if you guys know this, but spiritual awakenings usually lasts about 6 to 7 years before you're fully into that like cruise control. Like we're never fully on cruise control, but you see certain spiritual teachers out there that they're kind of in the groove, right? They're not doing too much healing. They're serving now. They're spending most of their time being of service, and then they cocoon a little bit to level themselves up, but then they go back out into the world. Where for some of you, you're not at all being of service yet, right? Maybe doing what you're going to be doing in the future. You're now just starting to heal to prepare for that phase. So give yourself some grace. It's going to take 6 to 7 years to fully be in that next level of your life. And I did not want to hear that 6 years ago when somebody told me that. So feel free if you want to punch me in the face right now. Yeah, your soul is calling you to level up. It's just surrender. You're just following each little nudge, each little intuitive thought. You know, should I book this course? Should I work with this mentor? Should I go to this retreat? That card is saying go. That little voice that's saying, hey, spend the money on this. I can't tell you guys how many times there's people who talk about how, they spend $2,000 on a course and then they get $10,000 2 weeks later. Or they spend, $800 on something for their business and they make triple that in 3 weeks. So you have to have a little bit of a risk taker inside of you that's willing to just put the money out there and know that it's always going to come back. So I spent $2,000 on a fear course. I guess it was 2 years ago. And shortly after I signed up, it was literally like a week later, I got $4,000 for my mindfulness program. So when you invest in yourself and you're saying, okay, Spirit, I have been stagnant my whole life. I've never paid for anything like this for myself. I'm going to sign up for a mentorship with Michelle, or I'm going to book a reading for myself, because you can't do it on your own. I hate to say that, and I'm not saying that because I'm a coach and I want to work with you. I'm saying it from my perspective. I would not be here right now if it was not for my mentor. My mentor saved my life. She refined me. She taught me all of the things that I couldn't see about myself. And every session I would cry because I was so embarrassed about my behaviors and my patterns that I used to do. And now I don't do them anymore. So she literally helped me transform, but I was willing to do the work. I was willing to pay for her. I was willing to show up every week and actually do the physical work to heal myself so I could be here in this state, feeling so good, being able to support you. So if you're feeling that call, you have to honor it. And you can't do it alone. I was just on a call with a woman the other weekend, and I could feel her resistance about her life situation, and she wasn't seeing it. Like, she kept saying certain statements and kept saying certain things. And I was observing it going like, hey, if you could, hit print on all of your thoughts throughout the day, how much of that paper would be filled with negativity? Or how much would it be filled with, I need to know? Or how much would it be filled with all the stuff that you need to do more of or that you're doing wrong? How can we flip that script into saying, I'm doing great? Everything is always coming to me. So if we're not aware of what we're thinking and saying out loud, that's going to be the holdup. And that's why we need mentors and guides and coaches, because they literally hold up a mirror to you and they're like, sorry, you need to hear this. And I know it's hard to hear, but this is how you're talking. You're creating this, or nothing's happening because you're thinking nothing's going to happen, right? So we have to kind of surrender into allowing somebody to show us our shit. And that's what leveling up is you're not thinking that you're perfect, and you're not thinking that you don't need anyone to tell you that, there's nothing wrong with you. You should be craving to work with somebody who's going to be so honest with you and be so loving and hold space and not judge you and say, hey, you can think any thought and I will not judge you. You can tell me something you did 20 years ago that was really, really painful to somebody else, and I won't judge you because I know that you're here because you don't do that anymore and you don't want to do that anymore. And you want to stop the pattern of maybe always going with unavailable men or women. Or maybe you want to stop the pattern of self sabotage or always having financial debt. You have to at some point own the behavior or the pattern that is causing you to keep attracting the same situation. Okay. And like I said, I was just going to say, you can't do that alone. It's too hard. Maybe you can. I couldn't. My mentor couldn't. A lot of people don't. So you might have to surrender and drop a little bit of that ego and be willing to say, I'm not perfect. I'm not so great at this. Can you show me more of my shit? Okay, so we have butterfly spirit is here to bring you your new wings. So this is like a complete transformation. We have your soul is calling you to level up. Butterfly spirit is here to bring you your new wings. You're letting go of control. Destiny has a plan for you. And you're being mindful of your thoughts. So you're not allowing the negativity in. Okay. Let's move on. Sorry, people are at the pool. Let's do Angel Wisdom Tarot. We haven't done that yet. Okay. Angel Wisdom Tarot. This is my favorite tarot deck ever. It has such wonderful messages. What else do we need to hear? Oh, I didn't even see that. Do you guys see that one flip? Okay, Four of Swords, insights that come from meditation, the need to rest or take a vacation, allow yourself more time before making a decision. Mental exhaustion, get more sleep. I was just talking to a lovely viewer and a subscriber. He's on Instagram and he follows me on there. And every once in a while, he'll send me a message and we'll connect. I think he's from England, but we were both talking about like what it's like to be in the fifth dimension, right? The 5D energy. We're moving out of 3D into 4D into 5D. And 5D means your heart is blasted open. You are fully in love with people and with life and just literally feeling like you love everybody and everything. And a lot of times when you're moving into that energy, so they say, you're sleeping a lot. You cannot handle negativity. You can't handle places with alcohol. You can't handle any lower vibrations. You're just being called to seclude and to not be around anything that siphons your energy. And that's moving into the 5D. So I feel like that's what this message is that you're being moved into the 5D. So let's see what else comes through. And you might be called to eat differently. You might not be hungry. Six of Wands, victory, wise choices that bring public recognition and success, promotions, awards, and scholarships. All right, so somebody's going to be receiving some sort of recognition this week. A lot of times, this card is somebody who's, in the original tarot, somebody's riding a horse and they have a wreath wrapped around the wand, and it's like they made it. They're walking down like the victory aisle and everybody's cheering them on like, yes, you did it. This could be spiritual success. This could be an ego death that you just came out of. People are seeing your light differently. This could be literal public recognition. Maybe your channel blows up. Maybe your podcast gets more listens. But it's a promotion, an award. So maybe at work, you're just being seen for all the hard work you've done. And when I get this card, I always think of, somebody who has been doing the work behind closed doors, and now you're finally being seen for it. Now somebody's jumping into your reality and going, I see you. I see what you've been through. I see all the hard work you've been doing. You deserve the success. So don't push it away. And that goes along with Lady Luck is on your side. So the luck is on the way. Something big is coming because you're being rewarded in this card. And maybe it comes after deep rest. Maybe you took a nap, maybe you took a vacation, and then all of a sudden something's going to drop in for you. I always say after we rest our vibration on a vacation or even if you're not like resting while you're on the vacation, but it's pulling you out of your normal routine, it's allowing you to feel something different than you felt. It's taking you off the journey for a bit. That's when something usually drops in and your energy rises during that time. So people start to see you differently. Okay, let's do one more and then we're going to end it. We'll do one more. Oh, Queen of Wands, brilliant, talented, independent, controlling. There's nothing you can't do. Believe in yourself. Never underestimate your ability to make your dreams come true. The need for balance between career and personal life. So if you look, she has a black cat on her lap, which is again the cat that we got earlier, which is protection. So the Queen of Wands, she's like this, like, I attract everything, everything comes to me, I don't chase. I know my worth. I've done the inner work. The Wands is all about career and knowing what you want. So this is a queen who knows what she wants, and her and this cat are like, nothing is going to get in our way, but we also are not going to hunt down something and chase something and feel like if we don't have it, we're not going to survive. They don't feel that way. They feel she feels super excited about her path because she knows that nothing's going to get in her way, and she's going to be so grounded and filled with support from the people that all the relationships that she's mended, all of the situations that are she's attracting now because she's the queen energy and she's no longer in this wounded little girl, like, oh, I don't get anything, or why does all these bad things always happen to me? That's not even a thought in this person's mind. So if this is you, you're being seen, you're being rewarded for that level up. You are now so incredibly different and you're being seen for it. And maybe it took months and months and months of inner work, right? Leveling yourself up. What else do we have? You're being a light to others. Another reason why you're being seen. And I just heard your light is magnetic. So when you're moving to this 5D energy, when you're really grounded, when you're that Queen of Wands, you're knowing what you want, but you're not chasing it. You're realizing you're taking action on the things you need to take action on. You're the cat, you're speaking your truth, you're delegating because you know that you can't do everything alone, you need help. You're knowing when to seclude, when to cocoon, to hone your energy, to work with your mentor, to make sure you're not allowing distractions in. When you learn all of these lessons, it's like that's when you've made it. And then once we make it to a certain level, we have to go to the next. And my mentor always tells me, Michelle, like when I go to her and I feel like I'm going backwards, I'm like, Anna, I feel like I just was so successful the last 6 months. I'm like, why am I feeling like this? She's like, well, you're leveling up. This is the next level of the game. We have to learn the lesson to get you up that elevator, to get you up that ladder. And she always reminds me of that we're always going to feel that way right before another breakthrough. We're going to feel like we're being pulled back like an arrow to then be propelled forward. So embrace those moments. Remember that you're the king, the queen of wands, and you're being recognized for all of your hard work. And it's about damn time. All right, lovies, I hope you enjoyed this reading. And don't forget the 2 charms. You have the key, you have all the answers to your future. They're underneath that turtle shell. So if you're seeing turtles or sea turtles, that's a sign to trust the slow moving journey and know that you have everything you need. And also you can outsource whatever you don't have. If somebody else is good at something and you're not good at it, let them do it for you. Allow them to help you, okay? All right, lovies, I'm sending you so much love. Feel free to work with me. Everything is below. I will see you all in the next one. Thank you for supporting me and my channel. All right, peace out.